And a very busy Thursday with this trial, a very busy week altogether with the long-awaited trial.
That's right. So Queen City News Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes joins us now to talk about some of the big takeaways that we've seen so far. Again, this trial is expected to last a total of 5 weeks. But Khalif, you are a defense attorney. What are your big takeaways here, and how would you defend this?
Not just a defense attorney, but I handle these type of cases, criminal homicide murders charges. And so, and I know that most of the attorneys that are in this case, both the prosecutor and Attorney Snow, who represents one of the individuals. And so when you're trying to figure out to defend this case, you come up with a couple of things. First of all, am I deciding to put my client on the stand? Do I need to do that? And I always take it back to the burden. Who has the burden of proof? The state has the burden of proof. And I tell the jury that it is their requirement, their obligation to carry that burden throughout the duration of the trial. I don't have to say anything. My client doesn't have to say anything. And the law requires that you do not hold that against my client. So I start there. And throughout the trial, especially a long trial, I'm watching. I'm taking notes. I'm trying to see, has the state proven their case? And if I believe they haven't proved their case, we'll rest and we won't say anything. Why? Because it's not our burden. And oftentimes we can mess that up by adding things. We're all trying to paint pictures. I have the best opportunity to paint at close, as opposed to attempt to paint a picture by using my client to say something. Let the state present their case, and if their case is weak, if it has holes in it, my cross-examination of their witnesses will expose all of the holes. So that's why I listened to some of the testimony from yesterday. Attorney Snow asked a couple of questions about evidence collection. He asked a couple of questions about the process of how information got there. Asked about a bag on the ground. He said, well, the bag got there. Do you know how it got there? Could it have maybe fallen out? And the officer was like, well, maybe. Well, that's what I want. I want you to paint doubt for me. Why? Because if you can paint doubt for me, I can instruct the jury that, hey, this doubt is now reasonable doubt, which is the burden. And now you've done my job for me.
Okay, so when it comes to the jury, you're talking about maybe the impression that they're getting and what you're picking up on as a defense attorney. You don't have a murder weapon, no witnesses, no documents tying these suspects to the actual scene, but you had, what was it, a fake FBI badge, you got ammunition.
Yes.
So how do those props, though, how does that, the perception of being involved, how does that play into a jury?
All of that, I mean, I have never had the opportunity to be a juror, but I've talked to a lot of juries after cases, and what I can tell you is that all of those things that you talk about, the lack of evidence, they will weigh that. The evidence that they have, like the fake badge, they will weigh that. And then they have to make that determination. That's why they are the trier of fact. They are the scales of justice in this moment. They will determine how much weight I'll give to, this badge and how much weight I'll give to this information. The thing I like to tell a lot of clients, and I tell folks this here, is that it's important to remember that direct evidence, eyewitness testimony, folks being on video, that's not normally how folks are convicted. You're typically convicted by circumstantial evidence. And the judge will give you a jury instruction at the end that says that, listen, circumstantial evidence has to be considered, and this is how you consider it. That's why most folks aren't convicted with, I saw it, I saw the shooter, I was right there watching it. That's not normal. That's probably 1%. 99% of the time, the DA is piecing it together and trying to paint a picture, or like I would say, a puzzle. And they oftentimes will present a puzzle with missing pieces to go for what you said. Hey, we don't have everything, but we're asking you as the jurors to put this puzzle together, even though you're missing some of the pieces. I think one of the best times I've seen it is the DA put up a map of the globe, and they didn't have all the pieces up there, but it was like, you can tell that that's the globe. Wow, that was clean. Might use that the next time. Paint the picture. I was a fan. Those are the types of things you're trying to do. On the other side, I'm saying, hey, it may be something else. I just want you to think, could it potentially have been something else? Isn't it reasonable to believe it was something else? Well, hey, if it's reasonable, then we got doubt.
Yeah, interesting stuff. This trial expected to last a couple more weeks, but Khalif, thank you for your insight.
Queen City News Plus. Just search Queen City News on your smart TV's app store.